What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Eddie and this is Hustle and Grow. Today's video, something I want to talk about because it's been bothering me. And I said this a while back that I didn't really necessarily want my channel to be just about, eBay, Amazon, and reselling, because I feel like the name of the channel, when I had came up with it, I wanted it to encompass various topics that, whether it be business related, family related, so on and so forth. Anyway, but the one thing that I wanted to talk about today was this whole concept of having multiple streams of income, because I've been seeing all these YouTube commercials and just different posts on Facebook and Instagram. And, here's the thing. It sounds real good, right? You got a person, guy, girl, they in a video doing a commercial or maybe an Instagram post, a picture. And it's all like, I got my 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 12 streams of income and I'm making all this money and stuff like that. However, I think if you were to delve a little bit deeper and start to do some investigating, that these people probably have nothing close to what they claim to have. And here's why I think. Here's my opinion on that. Now, I'm not rich by any means or any stretch of the imagination at this point yet, but I listen to a lot of people who are, and I listen to and read books of a lot of people who have multiple streams of income, but the one recurring theme that you hear from these people is that in the beginning stages, they always had like one thing that they focused on, one business. They would focus on that one business and grow it to a point where, they then had enough money to create the freedom to start to build other streams of income. I think, and I feel like part of this is just common sense, right? If you're trying to build a business or something like that, and you're trying to build a type of cash flow that you can live a comfortable life, it is very difficult to do that if you're splitting your time and attention and energy between multiple projects. Okay? And I know this just on a micro scale myself. When I try to do multiple things at once, something always suffers. Something always suffers, and I never get as far as I could get if I had focused on the one thing. And I used to do that a lot in the past, and I stopped doing that. And I have to catch myself sometimes. And now, since I'm focusing on one thing, that is doing better and it's growing. And my long-term goal is to have other things going on, but I've committed to perfecting one thing. And then once I have that perfect and the cash flow is coming in, then I can begin to maybe divert some resources to some other things. I think as we get into the economy getting worse and worse, and people becoming more and more desperate, you're going to begin to see more and more of these commercials and ads from these gurus trying to sell you the idea that creating multiple streams of income is the thing to do, and to get you to invest in their program or whatever it is that they're trying to sell you, their snake oil, right? They want you to put their oil on, and don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. You're going to see an explosion of these things. Here's the thing. When the economy is bad, when people are doing bad, you always see the scammers come out. For one, they're desperate. And for two, they know that other people are desperate. And a lot of people out there will fall for it. I mean, you could sit back and think to yourself, well, some of this stuff is just like common. Like, why would somebody even fall for that? But apparently a lot of people are, or they would not be doing it. They wouldn't be doing it. And there's a lot of gullible people out there. So you're going to see this. Watch. Whether it's YouTube ads, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, you're going to start to see a lot of these guys and gals coming out talking about how awesome it is to have this stream of income and this stream of income. And it could be a multi-level marketing company, or who knows what it's going to be, man. I seen this one thing about event planning, and the guy was like, you can make 6 figures. I don't know, some crazy stuff. But and I just did like some searching on Google and stuff like that. Like being an event planner and trying to make a living off of it is not that easy. It's not that easy. And here's the thing: to create one profitable business is not easy. It's not easy. And most people who call themselves or fancy themselves entrepreneurs or business owners will never do it. They will never create a successful, profitable business. And a lot of them are the same people who will fall for, oh, well, I'm gonna start this. Oh, well, this sound good too, so I'm gonna start that. And it sound good, right? When they talking to their friends. Oh yeah, man, I got like 3 or 4 ways of making money. I'm doing this over here and this, but they ain't really making nothing. They're not making anything. If anything, they probably losing money. And they definitely are not making, if they are, they're not making as much as they would make if they focused on the one thing first. And so I myself, over the last couple years or so, have been disciplining myself to not fall for that, because I used to be like that. Like, I thought, oh, let me start this. Oh, that look good too. Let me do that. Oh yeah, I can make some money doing this too, right? I think it's the same thing. I am reselling, right? I'm reselling as my business model. That's my business model. I can say I'm a reseller, but I really don't like that necessarily. I like to sell things. I love to sell things. But as of right now, reselling is my business model, and I do love doing it. And I need to focus on that. And that focus, one, on a macro scale, I guess, would be reselling in general. And then to narrow it down would be the niche that I've begun to focus on more is health and beauty and cosmetics. And so I went out from being everything, which I'm not saying nothing's wrong with that or anything is wrong with that, but from just, doing this and that and the other to now I'm just going to do reselling for now and try and build that business to, okay, instead of going here and looking for this or chasing bolos or doing this, I'm just going to focus on this. This is a type of product that's plentiful, replenishable, and yeah, you got to do volume, but it's a sustainable business model, sustainable business model. It's not for everybody. It really ain't. It does involve some work, but you can make it work if you put in the work. And I think people want this microwave effect where you get this blueprint and you do a couple things and now you got a profitable business. But that's not how it goes. Look, I was in a restaurant business for 10 years and I ran multi-million-dollar restaurants as a general manager. I know business. I know numbers. I know all of that stuff, all right? And I know how difficult it is to run a business, okay? I know just the planning and the energy that it takes if you really, really, really want something to grow and flourish, it's going to require your full attention. Your full attention. You can't be wishy-washy. You can't give half attention or you're gonna get half results. You can't give a quarter attention or you're gonna get the quarter results. And if you think splitting your attention 4 ways is gonna make you more money, that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And if you don't believe me, just ask a lot of the people who claim that they're making all this money, or do some research into their background and see if they really are. Or if they are, I guarantee you, if you research, they focused more on one business first, and then they started doing some other things once they made enough money to gain that freedom back. So you got to buy your time back. Initially, when you build in a business, all your time and attention needs to go into that business. Once it starts to grow and you begin to bring in a profit, then you get to the point eventually, which will be your goal, where you can start to buy your time back. Now you're making enough money to where you don't have to work in your business. You can work on your business. I mean, that's how you say that, right? Right. And you can start to put pieces in place and systems in place and people to run things. Then you be able to maybe focus on something else. Yeah, but it's my opinion that then and only then would you want to focus on something else. So look, don't fall for these things, man. You're going to see a lot of it, even in reselling. Like Reselling is not easy. I know people see the Instagram posts that people put up and the videos on YouTube and things like that. I'm telling you, it's not easy. I don't care what it is. If you want to make a business out of it, it can just be a fun side hobby. You know, you make a couple bucks, you do this and that. It just depends on what you want to get out of it. But if you want to if you want it to be your business, it requires your full attention. Your full attention. If you want it to succeed. I see a lot of people in these groups and things like that who complain about not making no money and doing this and that and all. And there's some good advice from some of the people who respond. You know, some of the responses as always are like kind of crazy, but there's some good advice that people give too. The best advice that you hear is that, you know, give it time. Look, business is not a static thing. No business is static. Any static business is going to fail. Nothing's static about business, okay? Business flows. There's ups, there's downs, you know, you might go you might level out for a little while. It's up to you as the business owner to understand these things, to like, how can you have a pulse on your business? How can you have a feel for what's going on? I guess what I want to say is like, business is organic, you know, it's ever changing. And you need to be ever changing as far as understanding your business and what's working now. And if it ain't working, maybe you look around to you and see, you know, listen to people and look at some other business ideas and business models and maybe incorporate, you know, some of the things they're doing into your business to make it work. But in order to make a business successful, you have to always be giving it attention, man. You can't just put a plant in a pot and put it over in a corner and think it's going to grow and flourish and just be this beautiful green plant or something like that. That's not how it works. You put it in a plot or a pot. You make sure you got good soil and you make sure you nourish that thing and water it, and you have to tend to it. It's the same way with your business. And then if you try to do all these other things, well, something's going to suffer. Something's going to suffer. And you as an individual will find that you'll burn out faster because you don't have the mental or emotional or physical capacity to be given what it takes for each of these things to get to the point that you're thinking that they're going to get to. They're not ever going to get there. If all you're doing is, let me work on this, and let me work on that, and let me work on that, and let me go back to this now, let me go back to that, and let me go back to that. You'll never be a specialist. I think successful entrepreneurs, successful business people are specialists at what they do. And you can only specialize if you focus. You know? When you go to some type of medical professional who's a specialist, like a heart specialist, or a foot doctor who's a specialist, or these people specialize on those particular parts of the body. It's not that they don't know anything about the rest of the body or maybe can't help you, but if it's outside their field of expertise, they'll send you to someone else who's a specialist in that area. And generally speaking, the specialists do a lot better than those who are general practitioners, because people will pay a premium for a specialist, for someone who's an expert in their field. And the more you become a specialist at what you do, the more you specialize in that area of business that you are in, the higher you make your business worth, or the more you specialize in the area of business that you are in, the more money that you can begin to make. The more that you'll know what your competition is doing, what your competition is up to, what's changing, what's not changing. You won't have to go on Facebook and ask people, what's going on? Why is sales down? And what's going on with this? You won't need none of that. You'll already know. You'll know where the good sources are. You'll know where the good prices are. You'll just know these things because this is what you specialize in, because this is what you focus on. So, you know, that's kind of just what I wanted to say about that, because I know it's coming, man. You're going to start seeing all these little gurus talking about, you know, multiple streams of income and do this and do that. Don't fall for that stuff. Even in the reselling field, man, don't go chasing the bolos and chasing this and chasing that. Focus on what you want to do and do it until it's successful. Then maybe start looking at some other ways that you can bring in some income. But if not, then things are just, you know, going to be very difficult. All right. I don't know. Do you agree or do you not agree? Let me know in the comments. Drop them down below. Tell me your experiences or your thoughts on this, all right? And also, while you're down there, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. So next time I upload a video, you'll be notified.